You're like that when you go, where are you from? What do you do? And then you just go, oh yeah.
Yeah, your joke results are very fast. You cut your rate.
It's recall and a Rolodex, really. You know, I'm quite good at coming up with stuff off the top of my head. But I'm also quite good at remembering previous stuff I've come up with from the top of my head that worked. And I can recall that fairly quickly. So, you know, you say a country, you say an occupation, and I'll probably have a joke I can do with it. And if not, I'll come up with something there and then. And if it was funny, I'll remember it for the next time. So every time you hear me say something on stage on the basis of something so they said it out, yeah, it might be something I knew already, but the first time I said it, I came up with it. Which is why it always sounds like I've just come up with it.
Yeah, also, and it's particularly fast. I mean, when I MC, so you do this thing, like I do it when I'm trying to buy myself time, basically, where you asking someone a question, and then you find that they give you the little nugget of a fact that you can work with comedically, and then I try and buy myself time by like kind of, I don't know what I'll do. I'll kind of like days into the distance and say something, and then the thought will come in, and then I'm off on a rant about something. But and you see a lot of MCs, and they do that. They're buying themselves time by asking another question, and you can see their brain is trying to work. But you just, it's rare I've seen anyone just like one question, and then it's straight.
There's no pauses.
20 punchlines, and next, and then you go to the next person, and like they give you one fact, you're like, all right, here we go, 20 punchlines on that. Next,
you're like an automatic rifle. Like
we're like, it's a bit easy,
a little slow.
But sometimes, you know, you do that. Oh, you buy time. Well, there's loads of techniques I use to buy time that, you know, maybe I shouldn't give away in a podcast because people go, oh, it's smoke and mirrors. But like the main one is, and it's the important one, is that you just repeat what they say. It just buys you the time to do that. So you just say, what's your name then? And they go, Sarah. And you go, oh, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. And, you know, and go, what do you do then, Sarah? And then she'll go, oh, I'm a marketing assistant in publishing. And you'll go, oh, you're a marketing assistant in publishing. And that, just those few seconds, give me a chance to go, I'm going to think of something to do with this.
Yeah.
But also, someone said that could have even been you, is repeating their name 3 times also buys you time. But then it tells everyone, you remember their name then, you've already said it 3 times. And then everyone else remembers the name. So later on when you want to call back to Sarah for something, you're like, just like Sarah used to do, whatever. And then,
Yeah.
So it's like
the audience need to hear what the other person says. You have to remember they haven't got a mic.
Yeah.
So that's just literally, production nicety.
Yeah, really. Practical element.
Yeah, practical element, exactly. But, you know, but sometimes, Eddie, you'll kind of leave a gap or you'll fill because you have thought of something funny, but you're thinking, that's so good, I want to finish on that. So I'm now going to bank that and put it in the vault and bring it back out in 30 seconds. So
you're thinking 30 seconds ahead of me there.
So you can get new stuff in there, or you can play with it, knowing that it doesn't matter
strong
where you go.
On. Yeah, I've got some. Yes, exactly. So, for example, I had one of the shows in Brighton at the Forge recently. I looked over to the right, and there was a girl on her hands and knees by the chair. Like everyone else sat in the chair, and she's on her hands and knees. And obviously, I can't, and it's not visible to everyone in the audience, but I mean, so I had to turn to her and go, "Hello, lady on the floor, are you all right?" You like this? And she, yeah. And she said, and I said, what you doing? She goes, I've lost a contact lens, like this, right? And everyone sort of laughs. And I went, you've lost a contact lens? And I said, what's your name? She goes, Melinda. And I thought, I've got a great joke to do on Melinda. I've got an absolute knockout. Can I swear on this podcast?
Yeah.
Got a fucking great knockout joke to do with Melinda, who has lost a contact lens. So I bank it. So I then go, all right, okay. Well, can you not just? I mean, it's going to be on the floor. Are you really going to put that back in your eye? And I'm thinking, I've got the joke, you know. And she's going, yeah. I go, don't put it back in your eye. Look, just get back up and watch the rest of the show like this. And I put my hand over his eye. All right, and gets a bit of a laugh. That's fine. And I said, so what do you do then? I was going to say, and by the way, I am actually quite close to you right now. I'm not a bigger bloke a lot further away. You know, so I make jokes about the fact that. Yeah. And then I said, all right, well, it's been nice chatting to you to Melinda. Melinda? Yeah. Just one eye then. And I thought of it at the time, but I knew it was going to be a good joke. So I did everything else so I could finish on that, got the round of applause and then moved on. So sometimes it's not even just, sometimes you come up with it really quickly and think, don't blow your load. Yeah. Because you can have more fun with this. There's more questions you want to ask. Why is she on her hands and knees? What's the, So
it's stronger if you did a few things then.
Yeah, and
mentioned
also
it as well.
I had to spell her name out, knowing full well it was one eye,
Yeah.
because otherwise everybody else wouldn't have got the joke. So it's like, you know.
That really comes down to experience, doesn't it? Though, 'cause, you know,
Yeah.
of just fucking emceeing a lot and then working out ways of working the crowd and timing the fucking bits and things. That's That's
Well,
just,
I think it is, and you know, people go, oh, you know, God, all that skill and all the rest of it, but it is just, but it's just an incredible amount of experience. Because when I was, you know, the resident at Comedia, it was 4 shows a week, including 1 late show. So I was doing 1 late show a week. Like, I don't think there's anyone in the UK who's done more late shows than me. I mean, there's only 3 clubs that have a late show, and actually Comedia now has got rid of theirs. So it's the Glee and the Store. And the Store got rid of the Friday late show as well. And the Glee and the Store both have guest MCs. So I'm the resident MC at a late show. There is only one in the country, and it's me. So no one has got more experience of talking to absolute pissed up twats.
yeah. What did
than
you
I
say?
have.
That ran for how? 23 years? Did you say?
23 years.
23
I worked
times
out it's a-
52.
Yeah, 1 million tickets we sold in the time I was there. 1 million tickets.
How many? So that's
phenomenal.
23 times 52. What's that?
Well, yeah, so you do more over Christmas. So it kind of works out like 23 times 52. So yeah, so you're
Fucking
talking
hell.
that's
Of
a
late
1,000.
shows.
That's so that's 1,000
Yeah,
late shows.
1,000 late shows.
1,000 late shows.
And then was there any where they were so rowdy that you were like, okay, people, like, you know, when they're just chatting and stuff like that? What would you?
And you just barrel on, but you know it's like your head drops and you just think, I just want to go home.
Yeah, yeah.
This is rubbish.
And then one of the other things that this is great, and I've told this to a few people and said, "Oh man, Stephen Gunn's got the best one." You know when? Because one of the jobs of the host is you're going to build up the acts, and then you'd be like, "Fantastic act, really good friend of mine." No. So you're building them up. Sometimes you haven't seen them before, right? Remember this? Someone went on.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was. Died so badly they got booed off.
Yeah.
And you've bigged them up. You're saying, "Great." So you're like, now you look like a schmuck
Yeah.
because you've brought them on. So you went on with your headphones.
Yeah.
So you went on with your headphones.
I've only done this a couple of times in my life.
Remember that? You went
Once
on-
off the top of my head, and once when it happened again. If you see me reach into my headphones backstage, the actors had a shocker.
Yeah,
An
But for the
absolute
audience, they're
shocker.
You walk back on with headphones in. You get to the microphone. You take your headphones down. So how'd that go then? And then instantly the audience is like, they're back from being.
I went, brilliant, I imagine. Every time I've seen them, they've been fantastic. Can't imagine that was any different, but I just had a podcast on the go. Didn't want to avoid it. Anyway, who's ready for the next act? Fully aware of what had happened.
But that's like an Etch-a-Sketch. It's like a scribbly mess, and you just shook it in 1 second and then back to. That's so hard to do.
That's a lovely image for what it is. Yeah, it's basically shake the Etch-a-Sketch and all the misery goes away.
So hard to reset a room after that.